Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing today? And in today's video, I have decided to do something more creative. For the eye look. For a longer period of time, you have been seeing me doing some neutral eye looks, neutral makeup looks with a red lip or a neutral lip. So I thought that maybe today do something else that I have been planning to do for quite some time now. And although I have not prepared myself for it, so today I'll be doing this makeup look. So we'll do this gorgeous eye look, and yeah, let's get into this. And if you don't know me yet, hi, I'm Ileen Roychoudhury. I'm a beauty blogger and a beauty vlogger as well. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel. The links of my socials are down in my description box. So without any further ado, let's get into this video. Peach Milk Moisturizer and use it as a light moisturizer for my skin. Next, I'll be using this Vaseline's Aloe Vera Gel as a light gel-based moisturizer, a primer you can say. A little bit goes a long way. So for today's look, it will be a lot less dewy and a bit more matte, but it will have some highlights and everything. So we'll be going for a full matte foundation. So before I get into the matte foundation, as you can see, I do this trick of applying a little bit of a powder before foundation to just set everything in, and this will kind of balance out everything, if that makes any sense. Those pores which you have are very problematic to you and you're not much into primers like me, then you can use this powder technique, because everybody has a compact in their home. I think you should have. Okay, so I'll put a bit of powder. Like if you have very problematic pores and everything which tends to sweat a lot, then I think this is a very good trick for you. So I'll be using this Mega Glow contouring palette from Wet n Wild in the shade Dulce de Leche, and I'll be using this, just coating my brush and putting it under places where I know I will sweat a lot. After putting a coat of powder, let's get into the foundation. So for foundation, let's see today what shall I use. I think today I'll be using this Swiss Beauty's High Coverage Foundation in the shade N05, and I'll be taking one big pump of it. This shade is a bit lighter for me, so I might look ghost faced, which I think I always do. Putting on some foundation, let us do some concealer, and for concealer I'm going to be using this Swiss Beauty HD High Definition Concealer, but only for places where I need more concealing, like over here. And also I'll be needing a bit more concealer after the fallout from my eyes. So I did a big mistake by doing my face first. And I'll be using this Inside Pro concealer, and I'm in the shade Sand Sable. I'll be using it for my hyperpigmentation. Concealer is done and it's blended as well nicely, very nicely. Now let us do some concealing onto our hyperpigmentation. First I used a medium to full coverage concealer, that is the Inside Pro concealer. That is because it had a yellow tinge, it would not create crazy flashbacks. Because this will kind of nullify it, it has a pink tinge to it, and yeah, it looks pretty okay. Next I'll be using a lip balm for my lips so that it doesn't look crusty. Now we will set the face with the powder again, but before that I'll be using a powder puff to remove any kind of excess and also remove the streaks from my skin. Now to set my face. After doing it, let's go with the contouring shade from the same palette and contour our face. Revolution's S palette, shade right over here as my highlight. A little bit goes a long way. Just a little bit onto the sides to give a structure to the face. Now, after we are done, let's get on to the blush. And for blush, I'll be using this Love Blush palette from Mars 16-hour blush. I'll be using the shade called How Deep Is Your Love. I mean, this is my favorite shade. I love the smell too. And blush my cheeks. Right, so after we are done with putting a little bit of blush onto my cheek, let's get onto my eyebrows. I will not fill it in. Instead, I will carve out my brows. I'm taking a little bit of concealer at the back of my hand. Let's put some highlight onto my nose because it's looking way more unnatural not to put it. We prime our eyelids with the same concealer, especially onto the inner corners of our eyes. Because that is where darkness prevails. Then we will put a little bit of powder, just a tiny bit, so that everything is set in. Why are we putting powder? So that it's easier to blend, but not too much, so that it will kind of interfere with the pigment. Now you know this brush, this is actually my highlighter brush. I use it because it is very subtle and it is not chunky. So I will use the shade I Will Always Love You from the blush palette and take this huge brush and shade onto my eyelids. Finesse it with a more of a blending brush. This is very easier to create this transition shade. Blending it away, corners. FX Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm gonna go in with this black shade right over here and deepen up those outer corners. Take some concealer on the back of my hand. So after doing some cut crease, I'll use this blue shade onto my lids. My aloe vera gel, mix it with a little red pigment. You can see how it looks onto my hand. I'll mix this shade with the primer to create that arched effect onto my lids. And we'll just intensify it. And then to clean out some fallouts, I will use a bit more concealer again. And to my lower lash line. And use some kajal. Alright you guys, so this is the completed look. As you can see, it is more buffed out, more artistic kind. I am loving how this is looking. But I'll do some lashes and to make it more distinct, I will use this silver shade from the palette on top of that red pigment. finally, let's get on to the lips. The eyes are done. We're using the lipstick from My Glam. This is in the shade 15 Cuffing, and it has got a mauve tinge to it. Let's try this one. This is looking very pretty. Alright you guys, so this is the final look, and it took me eternity to complete this look. And if you're loving how this is looking, then don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I'll meet you guys in the next video. Till then, bye guys.